Alright, everybody, this is absolutely real. I brought you this a little while ago, but it looks like the abomination that is our government currently is going to act on this. And there's a couple things you need to know. The first is, how are they going to actually do this? How are they going to accomplish this? Well, the administration plans on flagging your NCIS file. So when you go to order a gun, register a gun, pay for a gun, do a background search, etc., what happens? Well, your background check fails. And this is the new way the world is going to work. And the idea is that because you now accept someone else paying for your daily bills, that you are, in fact, to a point, mentally challenged or mentally ill because someone else is paying for your livelihood. It's called let's see here, what do they call this? Payee something, pay. Let's see here. Representative payees. That's what it is. Because you have representative payees, basically like your daughters, your brothers, your sisters, your aunts paying your bills for you. Now the government's doing it. Because the government's doing it, even though it's Social Security, they can now declare you to technically be mentally incompetent. And about 4.2 million adults currently receive Social Security benefits and would now receive the representative payee status and the NICS file being flagged. So this is a real thing, folks. This is not hokey. This is not anything that is not going on in the real world. This is stuff they are working on. And the picture, as you can see, it says the average violent criminal is a quarter of my age, twice my size. I can hold my own. And it shows an elderly man with a 9mm carbine. I think it's a high, or not a high point. You know what it is. You know your guns, folks. The model and name of the manufacturer just slipping. Anyways, this is absolutely true. And this is not just going to be for veterans coming back, but Social Security recipients and veterans as well. You're going to have a representative payee status that's flagged on your NICS. And this is what's really, honestly going to happen. And this is a big deal, folks. This means that every single senior citizen will not be able to own a gun, which means if they decide to round them all up and put them in the death camps because they're getting too old, too frail, they can't drive, any number of things, I tell you this, folks, they can and will because they won't be able to be armed. So Democrats and Republicans are trying to stop this via a Second Amendment process, but in the end, it doesn't look like there's a whole lot that's going to be done. Texas Rep. Sam Johnson said that they would prevent government agencies from classifying people who could help managing their finances mentally ill, but legislation is still waiting for a vote in Congress. Meanwhile, Obama, from what everybody knows, has probably already signed the executive order waiting for it to be implemented. And all he has to do is basically make it happen. And this is just one step closer, folks. And if you're collecting Social Security Disability, or veterans benefits, this representative payee status will affect your NICS file when you go for a background check. And this is real, folks. This is not something that is going to be done in a lab somewhere or off American shores. I'm reminded of a South Park episode, oddly enough, where I think it was they tried to take the driving licenses away from the senior citizens in South Park. Well, it's a animated comedy, as you know. So what they do, they organized the AARP and they started basically militarizing the senior citizens. And basically they took over the entire town and started forcing this situation where they could get their rights back. Well, if you have 4.2 million that are now drug dependent representative payees, guess what's going to start happening? They're just going to have your doctor slip up or have a mix-up with a pharmaceutical, and all of a sudden you're going to have a heart attack or go in for something, and then you're going to die. I mean, this is all in my book, folks, when I wrote it. The Liberty Cycle, Semper Promptus, this is all in my book. That basically, when it gets close to the end, folks, they go after the seniors, they go after the veterans, they go after the disabled. Anybody that's not pulling their own weight one way or another, they're knocking off like clockwork. And this is all in my book. And everybody's just sitting around waiting for this to go through. This is going to be a national situation where Obama strips gun rights from all Social Security recipients, veteran beneficiaries, and Social Security disability persons. This will be the end of the 2A for about 4.2 Americans. 4.2 million, I apologize. But this is how. They will basically flag your NICS, and at that point, your background check will fail, and when that happens, they're probably going to come in and confiscate when you're not home. Thank you.